Honestly, this is the third time I've recorded this video, and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna give it to God. Maybe it's not supposed to see the light of day. We'll see. I'm even coming to you low quality and low energy, but let's keep trying, right? Hi, I'm Martina. Over the decades that I have been reading, I have noticed a pattern that a lot of my reading is particularly from authors that are more, this type of way and less this type of way, right?
Hello, Editing Martina here. One, I've got a cute, sexy, sick voice because I'm still recovering from a sinus infection, so mind your business. And two, my walls are bare because I am also moving. So it's really giving anybody watched Final Destination when Clear Rivers was in the I just wanted to make a quick disclaimer that it is not wrong to read from white authors, of course not. However, it becomes a problem when you are only reading from a particular point of view. You start to miss out the lives and experiences of other people and their stories and the things that they go through. So I just want to make that clear. I feel like I didn't. This video was giving very much a rush, hodgepodge. I was giving very much red. I wasn't zen at all recording this video. I was very annoyed. My energy just pick up throughout the video, so please bear with. I thought I'd just make that clear just because I think it's really important for us to acknowledge people's intersections and the experiences that they are going through. If you were just reading from a cis white man all the time, then you are only going to have the stories and the experiences of a cis white man. And personally for me, that's not my calling. That's not how I want to live my life. So yeah, anyways, on with the video.
I know that definitely has to do with the fact that the areas that I'm getting my books from, so institutions such as libraries, my schools, and the publishing industry as a whole, yes, she needs to do better, but I think it's very important for you to also take the initiative to realize, you know what? I need to actually go out and seek this type of information. So that is precisely what I did. If you hear some crunching in the back, Salem's eating, so, let her do her thing. With that discovery, I made it a resolution of mine for next year to make sure that 80% of the books that I read are from Black or African authors. I never really set a reading goal for myself that I need to adhere to, and it has to be strict. Reading one book in a year is incredible. Reading 12 is incredible. 15, 20, 100, whatever you can do within a year, to me is incredible. But regardless of the amount I read, 80% of those books need to be by Black or African authors. So I've written a list of authors I would like to read from in 2025, and that's what we're going to share today. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. I am not a TBR type of girly. I've tried my hardest to set what I'm going to read for the month or, the year, and I just can't do it. And it's simply because I'm a mood reader. I'm just a mood reader. One minute I might be like, you know what? I want to read XYZ in the next couple of months. Gets to it, I don't want to read it. How about that?
Huh? Let's talk about that.
And I'm not going to force myself to read. Reading should never, ever, ever be a chore. Especially if you enjoy it. Why make it into something that is a chore?
Let her do her thing.
With that being said, I looked at a number of books from these authors, so I had a plethora of things to pick from bless you, a plethora of things to pick from, just in case my mood changed, I have options. So let's get into it. Now, this list is in no particular order of importance or desire. However, I had to start it off with Ugandan author Jennifer Nansbuka Makumbi. Several months ago, I realized I wasn't actually aware of many or even any Ugandan authors, and that just rubbed me the wrong way. So I made it a point to look out for Ugandan authors and the books they have to offer, and Jennifer came up quite a bit. So here is where we're starting. A couple of the books that are on my radar from Jennifer are Chintu, A Girl is a Body of Water, and Manchester Happened. Next up on my list is Ngugi wa Thiong'o. I'm sure many of you have already heard of him. He is a Kenyan author and academic, and he is considered to be the leader of East African literature. Oh, Salem's impressed as well. I feel like that is enough of a description as to why you would want to read from him. Whilst doing some research for my master's, a couple of his books came up for me that I was really intrigued to read. So I felt like it was only right for him to take a place on the list because of that. The books that I'm interested in reading are A Grain of Wheat, Decolonizing the Mind, and The Perfect Nine. I'm gonna be honest, the next author doesn't actually have that many books. However, the book that kept popping up seemed very interesting to me, so I really wanted to put her on the list, and that is Irene Muchemi Diritu. Please forgive me if I said that wrong. If I did, please correct me. Nairobi-born journalist Irene came out with this book called Lucky Girl, and it kept coming up in my research, and I just felt like I needed to check it out. Therefore, she's on the list, and who knows, maybe she might come out with another book by the time I finished her first one. Who knows? Next up is Eritrean, Ethiopian, British author. Oof.
You're doing fine. I won't let you blow this.
Suleiman Adonia. Similar to the previous author, I kept seeing the book before I saw the author, particularly the book Silence is My Mother Tongue, so that's on my radar. And honestly, the name is intriguing enough, and it kept popping up on every possible place that you can get a book recommendation. Pinterest, Goodreads, insert other things here. I'm tired, so I don't have time to think about things right now. But it just seemed very interesting to me, so I wanted to put it on my list, and come to find out he's got some other incredible books that I want to check out. In particular, The Seers. Next up, we have Somali novelist Nuruddin Farah. Once again, he came up a lot in my research, and I felt like it was only right to add him to the list if he was coming up quite a bit. Some of the books that stuck out to me by Nuruddin Farah were Maps and From a Crooked Rib. Halfway through, and next up we have Moses Isegawa, a Ugandan author with novels that are set during the political turmoil of Uganda. If you couldn't tell, I'm really interested to know more about Uganda. Considering I'm Ugandan, I think it's kind of weird that I don't know as much as I would like to. So I'm trying to do better. The books that are under my radar for this author are Abyssinian Chronicles and Snake Pit. Next up, we have James Baldwin. Need I say more? I'm sure the girlies already know, and if you don't know, get to know. Libraries are free, okay? Do what you need to do to stay informed. Although I want to read many books by James Baldwin, a few books that are particularly high on my list are Another Country, Go Tell It on the Mountain, and The Devil Finds Work. Right. I know the next author might seem like I have a bit of a bias, but you know what? This is my reading experience, this is my channel, so I really feel like I can do whatever I want. Next up on our list is Vanessa Nakate, a Ugandan climate activist. Not really an author, I know, but if you were listening to the rest of the video, I'm sure you understand why I would like to read from her. She's got a particular book called A Bigger Picture, and if you're listening to me, you would gather that this book is about the Ugandan climate. Like, need I say more? No, and I'm not going to say any more. On to the next. So Nnedi Okorafor is a Nigerian-American author well known for her work in sci-fi. I first came across her work in this short story collection. I'm pretty sure it's called Black Stars. I hope that's what it was called. But I was really intrigued by almost every author in that short story collection. And I can't quite remember what particular name her book was, but I really enjoyed it. So I felt like it was only right for me to add her onto this list, considering how much I enjoyed the last book I read. The books on my radar are Remote Control, Binti, the complete trilogy, and Broken Places and Outer Spaces. Next up, we have Tanzanian-born British author Abdulrazak Gurnah. Similar to a few of the other authors I've already mentioned, a main reason why he is on this list is because he came up several times during my research in several spaces. I want to see what the hype is about. I want to see what's going on. So a few of his books that are underneath my radar are Paradise, Admiring Silence, and Gravelheart. Nigerian novelist and author, one of the top authors mentioned when it comes to modern African literature. Can we guess who it is? I hope we know who it is. I hope you know. Did we guess? No, probably not. Okay. I feel like Dora the Explorer.
Can you say delicioso?
Next up on our list is Chinua Achebe. This is the one author where I actually own a physical book by them at the minute. I don't have much explanation as to why he is featured on this list, other than the fact that he has been on my TBR since I've had a TBR and I'm still yet to read anything. Problem? I think so. I think there's a problem here. So there are plenty of books by him that I want to check out. However, the first few are Chike and the River, Africa's Tarnished Name, and finally, the African trilogy. Can we just appreciate how cute this is? Like, I had to take off the dust jacket just so the girlies can really get, because can we just, first of all, you know what I love the fact that the camera is making it like so much brighter than it actually is, but how gorgeous. I'm really excited. Who knows, this might be the book that starts off this list. It probably will be because it's the only one I actually own, but you know, it doesn't make me feel like this goal is unrealistic, you know. And last but not least is Nalo Hopkinson, a Jamaican fiction writer well known for her work in Afrofuturism. Nalo Hopkinson was actually another one of the authors mentioned in that book Black Stars earlier, and you know what? I felt like it made sense for me to add another author that was on that list. If you know anything about me, Afrofuturism is something I'm incredibly interested in, and you know what? At times I will describe my style or things that I'm intrigued.
Oh, don't make that face.
Things that I'm intrigued in to match the vibe of Afrofuturism. I've dipped my toe into Afrofuturism a lot more this past year because I did a lot of research with it when it came to uni, and you know what? I love it. I want to get into it more, and I felt like this was a perfect way for me to keep exploring it and seeing if I have certain authors that I prefer and don't, you know? I'm particularly intrigued to check out Brown Girl in the Ring and Midnight Robber. I am done. We've come to the end of this list. I'm glad that it wasn't as chaotic as the first time I recorded it. Thank you for staying if you have stayed this far. I'm really tired and I'm starting to lag, so I think it's time for me to cut the cameras. But before I cut the cameras, we've got a few things to talk about. If you are craving a bookish community or want to talk about books or tandem read with me and others, join my book club. We're going to be reading The Colour Purple, as you can see here. The link is in the description. You know what to do if you want to be a part of it. Let's have a good time. Let's get to know each other. Let's kiki. If you are not interested in that, that is okay. Be sure to follow me on other social platforms. Whatever is linked below is what's linked below. So you do what you will with that information. And finally, if you liked what you saw and you enjoyed my company, please like the video. Remember what I said from the last one? You'll watch it and you don't like it, and that needs to stop. Okay, so I'm gonna do my part. I need to make sure you guys do your part. Like the video, and if you like to see more of me, subscribe as well. I'm gonna try keep posting. Anyways, it's coming up to dinner time, and honestly it's also coming up to sleepy time, so I gotta go. Okay, toodles, bye.